Welcome to the Dance Studio Empire podcast business series. This podcast is about building your studio empire, whatever that is for you, whether you're just getting started or striving to hit the elusive $1 million mark. This business series will give you the confidence and know-how you need to transform your studio and give you the business you've always wanted. So sit back and get ready to build your dance studio empire. Welcome back to the podcast, and thanks for joining me on the fourth episode of the Dance Studio Empire business series. Now, during this episode, I am going to talk to you about the fourth and final thing that you need to do to get your studio empire thriving. So you have, number one, attracted the right people. You've given them great reasons to come and trial your classes. They've now signed up. And so the next thing that you need to do, that you want to do, is to keep them as part of your dance family for as many years as possible, right? Okay, retention. It's thrown around a lot. It has big meaning, and there are many, many layers that really need their own episodes to talk about, which I'll do in the future. But simply, you just need to ensure that the experience and the journey for your students and their families is one of your main focuses while running your studio. It's really important. As much attention and time that's put into getting new students, equal, if not as much time, should be put into looking after the families that you already have and nurturing them. Okay. So there are 4 areas to focus on when it comes to retention. So without going into the specifics, I'm going to talk to you about the 4 areas, and then later down the track, I will talk about specifics within each of these areas. But it's not only your responsibility. You need to have your teachers on board. You need to have any staff, even your senior students on board with these 4 things, okay? Your teachers need to have the responsibility to uphold these things to maintain high retention rates, because the truth is you can't be there all the time. It can't be left just to you. It has to be part of your community that you are running. All right. So the 4 things are: the first one is connection. The second thing is innovation. The third thing is progression. And the fourth thing is appreciation. These are the 4 things you need to weave into your studio to keep your attention as high as possible each year. Okay, so I'm going to start with connection. Brené Brown, I don't know if you've heard of her. She's a famous author. She's amazing. She has the most perfect quote about connection that sums up how I believe your families and I believe my families should feel. The quote is, "Connection is the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from the relationship." Oh, isn't that beautiful? Okay, let me say it again. Connection is the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. I just love that. So, with every action, with every decision and strategy that you make for your dancers, for their families, for your business, remember to make connection the foundation of it all. Everything that you do, try and have that element of connection in there. Connection also aligns with communication and messaging. And honestly, when you get that part right, that's what equals the trust. And it's such a beautiful thing to have with your family. And it honestly will save you time and energy. And that really is what we all need, right? Yes. Okay, number 2, innovation. I say this all the time. Don't worry about what other studios are doing. Don't look at other studios as competition. My theory is people are always going to have babies, so there are always going to be new little dancers born every day. Your focus needs to be on your families. Okay, remember, they love you. They connected with you. You empowered them. They have a trust with you because you did that through your messaging, through your branding. Remember, step one, you've done that already. So the hard work's done. They're now part of your family and they love you. So you just want to be focusing on different creative processes and new ideas that will be loved by your families. Okay, so this is pretty big to take in, but just try and not think about what others are doing and try and mimic that because it's not going to work because they're not your people. So think about it for your families. Focus on ways that you can add variety and excitement, keeping things exciting and changing things up every once in a while. You could do new studio challenges, you could do different social events or in class events, performance opportunities. The problem these days is people just get bored quickly. Let's be real. So, love it or not, we just have to keep coming up with new ideas and innovating at a faster pace. And it doesn't have to be really hugely complicated. It could just even be as simple as, changing up your warm-up music or the way you structure your warm-up, little things like that, keeping it different, that keeps it exciting for those kids. And we want them to keep coming back each week, each year. Okay, number 3 is progression. Progression. Have an internal progression structure within your studio. Now, this gives your students something to work towards, so it's not like they start when they're 3 and they leave when they're 18. It gives them that feeling of advancing to another level, and it's just another thing for them to get excited about. And let's be honest, the parents really love this too because it helps them see the goal that you have for their child and what their child is working towards each week. And when that money's coming out of their bank account, they can see, oh wow, yes, they've now progressed to the next level. So it's quite psychological in a lot of ways, but it's absolutely worth it. And really for us, it's good to structure our timetable in levels anyway. So, but make it an obvious thing for them so they know that there is a progression system or a progression structure in your studio. You could have like a graduation week or a presentation day where, or invite like the younger levels to sit in and watch their next level before they're about to transition. These are creating experiences that are incredibly inspiring for them, and it just gives them a renewed sense of excitement and achievement, and they just will want to stay because they're working towards something and they're really excited about going into that. And you can make that as exciting as possible for them. Make it an event, make it a big deal, and it's going to help with them. They just won't want to go because they're striving to get to the next level. And I think it's quite funny the amount of people, particularly parents, who are quite have a bit of a thing about that. I know you as the studio owner or the programmer who's doing the classes, we have it programmed so we know the kids are continuing to improve. But for a parent or even for the kids, sometimes they need to see they're going from 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3. It's quite it's interesting, but absolutely worth it. And this could simply be preschoolers to juniors, intermediates to seniors. I've heard of studios using a gem system. So, for example, ruby, sapphire to diamonds, or bronze, silver, gold, platinum. You know, it's a visual for them as well. You may even want to present them with something as they're moving up to the different levels. Definitely a certificate. Things like that, making it really special. For us, we have our Jigsaw Juniors, which are our preschoolers. Then they move to Rising Stars, Shooting Stars, Academy Junior, Academy Senior, and then Elite. And so that's our progression structure in our studio. And in our Elite team right now, we have kids that started as Jigsaw Juniors. It wasn't actually called Jigsaw Juniors back then because it's been 18 years, but they have gone through each of the steps, each of the progressions. So I can sit here very confidently and tell you that it works and it will greatly assist in your attention. Okay, number 4, and finally, it is appreciation. Okay, I don't want this to sound condescending, But we really need to be grateful for your families. We need to tell them, we need to show them. Thank them for being supportive and part of your dance family. If they've been there for a while, they've committed a lot to you, emotionally, time, financially. So be grateful for that. One year, in one of my concerts during a speech, I actually did a shout out to the parents who continually recommended us and supported us, especially publicly on social media. So you probably have local mums groups on Facebook, maybe you're a part of, and there's often, people, especially from this time of year through to January, they're talking about, oh, I'm looking for a dance school for my 5-year-old. I'm looking for a dance school, and 3,000 people get on and recommend their dance school, which is brilliant, which is, credit to those studios because they're being recommended. But I would see the same parents continually recommending us all the time. And so this particular concert, I called those people out. I brought them up onto the stage and I presented them with bottles of wine because I wanted to show them and the rest of the audience how much I really appreciate them and what they do for us and for me, And what do you think the repercussion was? We just had more support, more recommendations. I guess everyone was hoping for a bottle of wine, but really happy families. And honestly, that has to be high on your priority list, right? Happy families, beautifully run dance studio. Okay, a lot better for you. All right, so that's it. That is the 4. So let's quickly recap those 4 areas of focus for retention. This is what you need to start thinking about and start, doing those actions, those thoughts, the strategies need to have this basis for your retention. First one is connection. Second one is innovation. Third one, progression. And number 4th is appreciation. This is the winning formula, peeps. I'm telling you. All right. That brings us to the end of this episode and the only 4 things that you need to do to have your studio empire thriving. Once again, attract the right people, entice them to try a class, sign them up, and retain them for life. That's it. Get this right, and then the sky's the limit for your business. All right, make sure you stay tuned for next week, the episode, as I continue to walk you through everything that I have done, everything that I'm still doing to get my studio empire where it is today. Until then, have a great week. Hey studio owner, if you are ready to have classes so full you need a waitlist, an incredible team who are exceptional with your dancers, or simply generate more revenue for your studio, then I want to invite you to join Dance Business Academy. Now, whether you are just getting started or striving to hit the elusive $1 million mark, Dance Business Academy will give you the confidence and know-how you need to transform your studio and build your dance studio empire. Just send me an email to info@danceteachercentral.com and I'll send you through the details.